So what up, though? It's Dwan, Black Leads Detroit, and we are back with another episode of Speak for Yourself. Of course, we have another special guest in the building, none other than Lazar Favors. What up, though?
What up, though, brother? How you doing, man?
Doing good, man.
Glad to be here, man.
I know we've been trying to make this happen for a minute. But schedules worked out. We're able to do it today. Thank you for being like, yo, what's up? I'm ready. You know what I'm saying?
And you was like, yo, come next week. I'm like, let's go.
That's how we do it, right? That's how we do it. Yep. So one of the things that we always like to do to start it off is we like to invite our guests to introduce themselves to the audience, right? Like, I know you the way I know you, but, you know, I'm sure that the way I would introduce you might be even different from the way you'd introduce yourself. So what would you want the audience to know about you? How would you introduce yourself to the audience?
It's going to be weird. Not really.
Do your thing. I'm intrigued.
What up, though, everybody? My name is Lazar Favors. My wife would like to call me what I would say a serial entrepreneur. I have several streams we've created several streams of things, and I'm very adamant about us. I'm very serious about Black. If you want to know, if you can ask anybody about me, what I think about the most, and that's really how to elevate us. So that's really my thought, and that's who I am. So I'm kind of like an elevator.
All right, I love it. Elevator,
right? Elevator in a sense.
That's what's up. Yeah, that's what's up. All right. Yeah, elevator. Okay. Yes, that should be your nickname. That's a dope nickname. I guess I want to start it off with the thing that I kind of see you doing. Like, you have big vision, but it seems like every time I see you in a space, you're creating platform and space for others. Yeah. Right? Yeah. So where does that come from? Right? Where do you think that comes from in you?
Honestly, man, my mother, My mother was one of the first person I ever seen to create a block club without calling it a block club, right? She used us to do it, right, without us knowing. I'm 7, 8 years old. She goes out and she's like, yo, I want you to paint the curb. Wow. I'm like, okay, cool. But for those who don't know, painting the curb requires you to clean the curb first. Right, and then
most of us have never painted a curb.
Exactly, right. So you clean the curb first, then you have to let it dry, and then you paint it several different times, right? And when she did it, 2 people across the street asked, "Hey, man, can you come paint our curb?" Right. So she created this thing, and 2-3 weeks later, our whole block curbs. We grew up on Chelsea and Dickerson. Okay. The whole block has white curbs, right? So that's a leadership role. Without going house to house, she implemented something, showed them what it looked like. The presentation was right, and then it started just trickling down the street. So I take that from her. She was always, she was phenomenal. God rest her soul, phenomenal. Dope. So I took that energy. Then my father come from the other side. Okay, you know, he was. I
recognize that. You know.
Yeah, he was East Side. He was a gentleman though, right? But he wore suits and hats every day. That was his look. But he showed us. There's 13 of us, and I think it's 8 boys. I can't never remember 7 or 8 of us, boy side. But he showed me this how to be not just a man, but how to be. And I'm talking about young, but how to receive and when I say receive energy and turn that energy into something at some point. Now, you know, as a young person, you ain't thinking about none of that, but you're watching him. I'm watching him. I'm watching how he moves. And I'm listening to my mother. My mother was 5'1" and a firecracker. So I'm looking at the mix. I'm thinking about the mix, and the mix of them created this person I am. I took most of her, I think I got most of her power thinking and most of his power moving. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? So, and I turned that into something, and I turned it into my thing.
Okay. Yeah, so let's talk about some of the things that you've turned it into.
Okay.
Right. So we have a film festival coming up.
Yeah, right? Man. Yeah.
So give us the name of it and describe what it is to us.
Okay. So me and my beautiful wife, Marshall, we started this festival called Detroit Black Film Festival.
Shout out to Marshall.
Shout out
who
to
I just recently found out is one of the most dynamic speakers.
Oh my goodness, right?
In the city, full of dynamic speakers.
Yes, thank you.
You know what I mean?
Thank
so
you.
it's like, that's not a slight on anybody. We have some dynamic speakers.
Yes,
here,
we
but
do.
I heard her like rock the microphone, and I was moved. So shout out,
thank you,
to Marshall. I think I may have mentioned it to her, but if I didn't, shout out.
Thank you. Yeah. So we produced this festival, Detroit Black Film Festival, and what the Detroit Black Film Festival focuses on is emerging, right, up and coming filmmakers from Detroit and from around the world. This is our 4th year. My wife started it. In fact, speaking of her, right, she came home from Texas, a trip. Had nothing to do with film, the trip she was on, but she came home 3 o'clock in the morning. She wakes me up and she's like, I want to start the Detroit Black Film Festival. That was her words. She said nothing else to it. By 10 o'clock that day, I had already LLC'd it, got the information for it, started searching for an artist to create what she wanted to see, and 2 days later, we were in business. We're talking pandemic, right? So we're talking pandemic. Yeah, first year was online. We had, and again, it's about, you can turn some things into a good thing, even though it's engulfed in a bad thing. So we took this good thing. People were at home, obviously, and we created this one thing, and we gave them film that they wouldn't normally see anywhere. We put it online, created this online system, put it online. We had 4,500 people watching these films. I'm talking about 30 films, though.
So giving exposure to people that probably wouldn't have that level of exposure. Yeah, man. Yeah. I appreciate that and value that, right? Yeah. It's like with the industry that we're in, the work that we do at Black Leaders Detroit, one of the things I try to remind people is that, yes, the grants are necessary, the no-interest loans are necessary, but entrepreneurs want customers. You know what I mean?
Gotta have customers.
Like business owners want customers. And I think that in the movie industry and the arts community, they want viewers, right? They want people to be able to receive, appreciate, and benefit in whatever way what they're creating.
Yeah, I want you to see me.
Yes.
I want you to see me.
That is important.
I want you to know that I have this product visually, and I want you to see it. I want you to listen to it. I want you to appreciate it, right? I put my heart, and I know as a producer of film, it's challenging, right? In a world of so many different art forms in film, you're trying to balance something. You're trying to get your face or your movie or your idea into a space that's like, how am I going to do that? Resources is for emerging filmmakers or for young up and coming filmmakers, it's different. They don't have nobody's coming with $20 million. Hey, shoot this film. These guys are shooting it off the hip. They're going to get these cameras. They're going to get the writing platform. Writing. What are those things?
So Chat GPT.
Yeah, all of that stuff. So they're trying to figure it out, and we want to give them a platform while they're starting to figure it out. So imagine if I'm a new filmmaker and there's a film festival that takes my film. And I don't care if it's 7 people get to see my film. 7 people saw my film. So that feedback that we get from these filmmakers is like, it's just fuel. We take it and we just repurpose it because that tells us that we're heading in the right direction with it. And we're also giving them something to believe in to even perfect their craft. Right? So,
I love it. So, in addition to that, so when does that take?
The Detroit Black Film Festival takes place September 27th through October 1st, downtown Detroit. We're at the Car Center Gallery, Car Center over there with Oliver. We at the Marlene Bowe Theater, which is in the YMCA, downtown YMCA. Yep. And we also have Brian Smiley, who's the president and chief creator for Heartbeat, which is Kevin Hart's business, and he'll be here doing a masterclass for us on September 30th.
Nice.
Yeah,
so we'll make sure that we post the address to all of those spots as well. So, is there anything that you know is coming that I guess you probably don't want to tip and give anybody a favorite position?
Well, I'll say this. Me and Marcia, we battle with this because I'm like, I want to tell everybody what I want them to see. Right? She's like, no, don't do that. So I'll say this. We have a film from Cheryl Lee Ralph. Okay. For those who don't know who that is, she's a phenomenal actress, producer, director, most famous for probably Dreamgirls and several other things. In fact, she has one of the #1 shows on TV right now, Abbott Elementary.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
My kids love that.
I love that.
Yeah, my kids love that.
We watch that as a family.
I checked out a few episodes.
Yeah, man.
My wife said it hurts too much because it's too real.
It's real.
You know what I mean? She's like,
real.
it's too real. And we have educators on staff here that watch it that are like, oh, that's real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, and we have a great film.
So you got the creator of that.
Yeah.
Has an entry to the film festival.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
And we have a film from what's his name? Eamon Joseph.
Okay.
So it's a young director. Eamon Joseph played Jerome on that one, that show,
what's it called?
Snowfall.
Snowfall.
Yeah.
Right.
So he got
Jerry Curl.
Yeah, we got a film with him in it. We got a dope film from a producer director from here. It's called Die Willie Die. Okay. It's a documentary. It's a serious documentary. It's great too, man.
Have I heard of that or seen?
You might have seen it. You know, we put the trailers online, so you may have seen the trailer.
That's what I've seen.
A couple other films from here, but though I think for me, I'm not gonna say it because Marshall don't want me to say it. Yeah. But just go see it. Come out Saturday. Come out Saturday between 12 and 4. You will see the movies I want to see.
No doubt.
But there's some great films.
All right. I'm looking forward to it.
74 films.
74 films.
We have 74 films screening over 5 days.
If somebody's working in that industry and they want to submit an entry, how do they go about like getting with you to make sure that they submit an entry?
So we're on a platform called Film Freeway where you can submit your films to various festivals, over 100 plus festivals. You can submit your film. They would type in Detroit Black Film Festival. They will upload their film for submission for us to view and look at, and then a couple months later, maybe down the line. So let me rephrase. So we take a submission in the month of November. Okay. We close submissions. I think we close submissions in January, March, because we take that much time. Then we go through the films. We get over 300, 400 films submitted. So we need to process those. Narrow it down. Once those people submit, we narrow it down. They'll get a notification if their film will be screened.
Gotcha. Got you. Oh, dope. I love it. So that's one. Of the boxes of cereal.
I like that.
You being a cereal entrepreneur.
I like that.
So I see how I flipped the word cereal and made it cereal. Those are for the folks that
with the S.
Yeah, right. So, but what's the other initiative that you're pretty well known and not just in Detroit, right? But like kind of all over. Yeah.
I'm recognizing that most recently too.
Yeah.
I think when you do the work in the field you choose to do the work in, you don't know when somebody's speaking about you until you get that text like, yo, I just met 3 people from 3 different areas and they all brought you up. Like when you hear that means the work is seeding out, right? And for me, I'm in, and some of us know, a lot of us may know by now, I'm in the spirit industry, right? Mm-hmm. And for those who don't,
so what do you mean when you say that, right?
Spirit, right?
You say black and spirit,
right? Black spirits, right?
Some of my friends are gonna be like, man, who I got on here? You know what they into? What they diving into?
So spirits, the alcoholic beverage space, libations, liquor, So I like to call it spirits because for me, I want you to think about it in that state, right? When you say spirit, like if somebody has a great spirit, you can have conversation like me and you. We have great understanding. You have a great spirit. I consider you have a great spirit. So I use the word spirit intentionally and on purpose. So I've been in this industry since 2018. Okay. The spirit, the liquor business, specifically to African American owned spirit brands. I started with one of the fastest growing whiskeys in America right now, black owned brand. And then I moved over and I sought more. Okay. And what I mean by that is that if there's one of us, there's 10 of us. And if there's 10 of us, there's 1,000 of us. Right. So let me go find that tribe. And on that quest to find that tribe and bring them to me, I created what we like to call the Taste of Black Spirits, right? Produced by Black Spirits Legacy. So Black Spirits Legacy is a company that not only not only secures accounts, but consults, right? Find funding, retail, major retail, etc. So we do that work for you. But how it started, because it didn't start like that. I just wanted people to know that we exist.
Right.
I wanted people to know that we are out here selling this product and have this product, right? So look at us, here we are. So when we created the Taste of Black Spirits, the intention was to bring awareness to it. We had 30 African American brands that I sought off. I Googled.
Right.
All I do is put in, hey, Google, whoever the other two ladies
Right,
are,
right,
you know what I'm saying?
right.
Find this for me. And I researched them. I literally called, and some of them I went to go see, right, in other states, because I wanted to know what did you need and what was it. And then, again, it was a passion.
Yes.
It became a thing like, you know what? How do we grow this?
Because like you'll put Diddy on the face of something, or Tupac shouting out brands like in his songs, right?
Got a whole song called Pastor Kabasi.
You know what I'm saying? It's like, I mean, he created Thug Passion. You know what I'm saying? It's like
literally.
You know what I'm saying? So
Literally.
it's like so that like you have all this marketing that mainstream or big brands have benefited from off of like a culture that was created by black people, and us not seeing any dividends from that. You know what I mean? For the most part. Now you'll see them using them and paying them for advertisement, right? So when I hear you say raising awareness, I mean, for those that aren't familiar with it, can you share the story of Uncle Nearest?
Actually, I cannot.
You cannot share that.
I cannot. I will share.
Gotcha.
I will share a couple of stories for you, though.
Okay.
I will share a story from a gentleman. His name's Tom Bullock.
Okay.
So Tom Bullock, in the 1800s, he created the first African American cocktail book, which still today it's the same form. It's still available today on Amazon or any other thing you can buy.
Tom Bullock.
Tom Bullock. He was an African American out, I believe, it was out of Minneapolis.
Okay.
Right, and he created that book. There's also Fort Mose, right? So Fort Mose is the first free African American city in Florida. Excuse me, 1738 in Florida. We don't know nothing about that. I didn't know anything about it until this year. So when you think about those stories, then you have stories like Vanessa Braxton, who's the first African American woman distiller who owned a distill and operate in America, period. Right? You have Jackie Summers, who's the first African American to hold a liquor license in the United States. So you have these stories that we have, and nothing against they tell their own story, right?
No doubt.
But these folks who I'm associated with, and I've been in their space, and I'm like, listen to these amazing stories. And we're talking, Vanessa started her 2012, Jackie 2011, right? We don't know this, right? We don't know that is 13 African American owned distilleries. So a distillery is a space who literally makes liquor, right? So you can own a brand, you can own a product, right? You can say, hey, my brand is Dwan, right? That's your cognac, but you're not a producer, and that's okay. But Vanessa is a producer. Like, she literally has a distill. Right. She go to get the blend, the whole thing.
So for folks that are more familiar with the auto industry, she would be like a manufacturer.
Absolutely. I mean, she would be like a manufacturer. Okay. That is correct. And she's been doing it, and she does a great job. There was only 10 of us in the world of hundreds. Yeah. There are only 18 African-American breweries. Okay. There's probably 25 African-American wineries, right? There's only one. We only represent 1% in the whole industry with all of that, right? And then, but we spend, I'm talking about African Americans specifically, we spend $3.5 billion a year on drinking.
We spend $3.5 billion.
$3.5 billion on not just drinking, but on drinking things or intaking things that don't even belong to us. We get none of that back. It doesn't go back to us. So when we started Black Spirits, again, it was to bring awareness at first. That was the first one. That was May 2021. By September 2021, it's like, it's more than that, because I've had conversation with, what do y'all need? What do brands need? Well, we need distribution. And distribution is where you in a state, and a state like Michigan is a state who basically you have to. It's a 3-tier. As a supplier, I have to sell to the state, and the state sells to the the retail, and retail sells to customer. I can't go directly to customer.
Gotcha.
Right? Some states like New York, you can go directly to customer as a brand. So again, we start researching. We start going out and developing relationships and partnerships. Same year we started in 2021, I developed a partnership with a company called Pronghorn. So Pronghorn is a company that got $2.4 billion to support, to fund, and to mentor specifically African American spirit brands who need their services, right? And since 2022, so they also started in 2021, mind you, November. I started in May, they started in November. By May of 2022, they had already funded 10 brands.
Okay.
So they're really doing the work, right? So that, again, that's just created this engine that we're doing. Like when I say brands, I'm like Island John, Duke and Dame, et cetera, et cetera. It's a lot of them out here. But they, again, it just became that mission of mine. And I saw and I said, this is what I want to do, and I want to make sure that we take this as far as we can. It's really about making a decision, right, Dwan? Yeah. I did some unnecessary search. I'll say I'm gonna call it unnecessary. It's over 50,000 restaurants, black-owned restaurants in the United States with liquor licenses. That's home, right? So if you start at home,
right, you talking about 50,000.
Talking 50,000.
Right. Each
one of them carry all black-owned products. It's really a decision.
Yeah.
It's just deciding to do it. I eat at restaurants. We know mostly everybody that's black-owned that own restaurants. Right. I eat there often. It's just a decision, right? That's the part.
So when you say just a decision, if I'm following you right, I realize there's some legwork that has to be done, right? Yes. It sounds like you're doing legwork, at least in Michigan and states like Michigan, right, where you're like, okay, let's help get through the bureaucracy, right, of making sure that you are positioned to sell to the state. Yep. And the state to like the
retail,
and then
the
retail to customer. Okay, so like you connect with the state. Now, do you do any work on the other end and say, okay, here's some restaurants, some stores, right? We want y'all to start carrying this product.
We do all of those things, and the beauty of and that's where Taste of Black Spirits come in, because you know what I get to do? I get to put all those people in the room off the clock. I get the retail in the room off the clock, so they're different when they're not at the office.
Right.
I get the consumer who is the folks that can speak for us immediately in the room, retail in the room. And then you have investors in the room. So we'll have this whole pot going on. Have to hit the four corner, have the whole pot going on, and then you create this buzz within the space. And on that following Monday, I'll get that email. I'll get that call. Hey, I tried this at that event. I'm a distributor here in Michigan, or I'm Imperial out here in Kalamazoo. Can I get connected to them? Yeah. Well, if you're reaching out to me, you are connected to them, right? Because I work for the brands, or with the brands, I should say. I work with the brands to elevate that experience, again, to get them in the market, get them in the stores, get them in the major events. We do sponsorships. We do, I don't want to call them pop-ups, but we do lounges. I call them legacy lounges at restaurants and well, you know,
I've been to
you
one.
know, you've been to one, right?
It was fire.
Yeah, so it's to
lamb chops and
all
kind of stuff up in there. You know what I mean? So
but
fire,
that's
man.
it. But those are the things that are important to breed. You have to be unusual. You have to do unusual business in a place where usual business is not for us. It ain't set up like that. So you have to go. You have to do certain things.
Yeah. So it's interesting because most times when I see you, you and I get to talk, you know, frequently, right? There. So I understand that cocktail, if you will, that your mom and dad created, and how dynamic you are, and how big your vision is and ability is, right? I don't know if I fully understand it, but I have an idea and an appreciation for it. But oftentimes, and most of the time, when I see you in the room, you chilling and you laid back the way you are right there. You know what I'm saying? The cap is down. Like, people wouldn't know that, like, you're moving and shaking the way that you are. And there's a part of me that's like, I don't like the, like, loudmouth, collar popper type person so much. But I realize that, like, the cameras are drawn to those people. And I love Deion Sanders.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I love him too.
Like, I love him too.
I love him.
Like, but you're like not Prime. Like you moving and shaking, you making stuff happen for folk. Yeah. And you kind of lay back and chill about it. You know.
I'm a believer, man.
Yeah.
You know, I tell people all the time, you can't believe and worry at the same time.
Okay.
I don't need somebody to turn the lights on. My lights stay on. Mm-hmm. Right? My light moves with me. It stays on. I don't need to flash it in nobody's face. Mm-hmm. It's always on. And it makes adjustments whenever I need to be in the room, depending on who I'm in the room with. Yeah. I'm not in the room. I love people. I love interacting. I don't need to be loud to make my point across. I think, again, for me, I just, my light is adjustable when necessary, but it's always at a high. It's always 100 bulb. It just makes an adjustment based on how dark or light the room is. You know what I mean? If that makes sense.
It does. I follow you. Yeah. So with that, I see, you know, you always representing your brands. Yeah. And on the hat you have, and on the chains, you have, I'm okay. Yes. Right? Like, tell us what you mean or what the brand means by that.
This is
and
probably
what inspired that.
That's a great question, because this is probably the most important thing to me, because it changed. Right? It was the point in life where it was. So I'm a designer by trade. T-shirts. I have a T-shirt business for the last 25 years, probably 30 by now. And I created. It was so in that space that I was in when I designed this. It was just me and my daughter. Okay. My daughter Riley. I won't get into details, but it was just me and her. Okay. And I created this, and it was bouncing around on my screen one day, and I just and it was straight across though. So I'm okay with straight across. You know, I bounced the screensaver, and Riley fell out of her chair, and she was like, "I'm okay," right? So I go to the screen immediately, and I turn it. So I make the I lowercase, tilt the K, right? And then I put an exclamation point underneath, because it's not just I'm okay. It's like, yo, I'm invincible, right? And because you have to understand, the exclamation point holds all those letters up. Okay. The exclamation point is powerful. So that became my thought process. You're exactly what you tell yourself every day. And every day I'm this. Gotcha. Every day I'm okay. Started in 2015. Like I said, I was in a transition. It led me into meeting my wife. Okay. It led me into my higher self. So it's an affirmation that you constantly repeat. The beauty of it, watch this, the beauty of it, when you see it, you only can say it. I'm living it, I'm aware of it, but as you walk past and as you see it and as you take it in, you say it to yourself unconsciously, and then it becomes conscious after you say it.
Love it.
Right? So that it allowed me to encourage some people throughout the process. Like I said, I started in 2015. I was giving away shirts that said I'm okay to every person who said something about me with the shirt on, because I wore it every day. Like literally, I wore black and white every day. I'm okay shirt every single day for 3 years, every single day. And in that time,
those that's doing a jump in the comment section, he had multiple shirts.
Yes,
right?
Not the same one.
Right. So
yeah, thank you.
The same one,
not the same one. Duplicates. Right.
Thank what if anybody's rocking the same shirt every day?
Hey,
you okay too?
You okay
it's
too?
Your shirt. You know what I mean? Your body. Rock what you want to rock.
So I saw how powerful just those 4 letters became for other people. I was in Home Depot, and a lady came to me, and every person that repeated, I would give them a wristband that says "Every day I'm okay." And on the other side, it'll say, "You exactly what you what you tell yourself every day. So that became that thing that I did, and I did it unconsciously. I would just drive around with 1,500 shirts in the car and give them because it was so powerful. And it kept doing it, and I was like, oh, maybe I should get wristbands. Wristbands probably a little cheaper, right, as opposed to shirts. Yeah. But for me, I live it. So I took I'm okay, and I took every day. You can say it either way, either direction. Every day I'm okay, or I'm okay every day. And I expanded it to affirmation words, right? So if you see me, I might say to you, you might get an email or text from me, oh, Monday I'm magnificent. Tuesday I'm terrific. Wednesday I'm wonderful. Thursday I'm tremendous. Friday I'm fantastic. Saturday I'm stupendous, right? You might get that, and then you may get amazing every day. You may get magnificent. You may get wonderful every day. Because if you think it, you live it. So I think it. In my household, this is what life is. In my household, we go to sleep and wake up to meditation music. We calm the house to calm the mind to create the thinking. Okay. Right? So that's how
elevator. Elevator every day. Love it. I love it, man.
Yeah,
that's good.
So yeah, that's I mean I truly 100, and you know it, like you see me. Yeah. Only time I didn't was when I walked down the aisle. I still had the wristband on though.
Well, you was okay that day.
Yeah, for sure. 100%. Yes. Yes.
Stepped the game all the way up.
Yeah, man.
Bringing the two of y'all together. That was phenomenal.
Little story about her though. She wasn't feeling me.
She gonna say that.
I ain't gonna say she wasn't feeling me. I was gonna say it was interesting. Our first when we knew we liked each other, because we hung out for a long time.
Okay.
I just like hanging out with her. She was silly. She was goofy. She was, she corporate, right? Mm-hmm. But she got all these other things. I'm like, oh, I like all of this. I like all of it, right? So when we, I'll tell you this story, and she can. When I knew that it was her.
Now you know I'm gonna have her on to follow.
I know.
I'm gonna have her on to follow.
When I knew it was her, when I knew it was her, it was no doubt in my mind. We were walking, and as we always did on Fridays, we were walking, and she had this 21 questions, right? Mm-hmm. And when she asked her for what happened. Typically, people want to know. I'm like, I don't remember. She stopped, took her arm away from me. And I was like, I don't remember because I don't think about it. I don't have anything to think about in the past. I said, let's try this. Let's create whatever we're going to create, whatever this is going to be. And then 3 months from now, when we look back, that's what we'll have. I had no idea I was going to say that. I didn't rehearse it. I didn't know what I was going to say because I didn't expect the question. She took her arm, put it back in my arm. We walked. And she said, I just want to be safe and with everything. And she only had to say that once. Mm-hmm. That's when I knew. Like, she accepted that, and she knew I was being genuine. She knew I wasn't trying to skirt away from the question. It just didn't mean, it has no value to me. What has value to me is where I'm going. You know what I mean? So, and that's how I felt about it after I'm told many people what I just said. Some people are like, oh man, you can't even talk to me because I'm telling you what I know. Yeah, so she
here y'all are.
Here we are. You see us?
Yeah.
You see us? I also told her, I gotta tell you this too. I'm sorry.
No, you good.
I told her one day she goofy. She clumsy.
Okay.
So she almost tripped one day. I'm like, you can't do that because I'll have to fall too. 2 years later, we in the gym in Southwest Detroit. She had the heels on. She just did a conference. She out talking. Slip, hit the floor. Boom, I hit the floor. I'm rolling. I got on all black. I'm rolling. By the time she thought about it, it was too funny. I get up, dust me off. I'm like, all right, honey, that's a good take. Come on, everybody back to one. You see what I'm saying? Oh, no. But that's how we enjoy each other, man. Like she's a comedian.
Because I have to fall. I don't have to fall.
I was like, that's it. Yeah. We fuel while flying. We don't come down for fuel because we're in the air. We're gonna stay there. So I had to tell you that because that's my energy. That's part of my energy. Yeah. That's what take me through the day. You know what I'm saying? So
I don't want to end on anything other than that. You know what I mean? I respect that. I know we were going to do a segment, but we'll save that for the next time.
Okay.
Man, it's been a joy having you on, man.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man.
And thank you for coming and hanging out with us and speaking for yourself.
Thank you.
I think we gave some people a taste of what you're doing, who you are, and we're going to have you back and do some follow-up.
Let's do it.
How the film festival went, how the Taste of Black Spirits is going, and other ventures.
Okay. I want to offer you this real quick before we leave, because it's kind of like the soundtrack for us. You know, Ron Isaac got them coming.
Yeah.
Right? So, yeah. Just wanted to offer that to you, private event.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
So
I got 4 events, but the one is private.
I get to come.
You get the private one. Yes.
Whoa.
Yes. That's why I ain't announcing it. Right?
That's what's up. No, I appreciate it, and I will be there.
I just know the wife would enjoy that space.
Yeah, I will be there. Me and the wife will be there.
Okay, great.
No, thank you,
Great.
man.
Appreciate it, man.
you.
Thank you.
It's another episode of Speak for Yourself with Lazar Favors. Y'all better make sure y'all in the house for...
Detroit Black Film Festival, Taste of Black Spirits. It all happens in the same week, September 27th through October 1st, downtown Detroit. Check us out on Eventbrite. Visit us on Taste of Black Spirits IG, Facebook, Detroit Black Film Festival, Facebook and IG. See y'all there next week.
Peace.